The only thing is that I really want to focus on empowering women on how to become an entrepreneur. And I believe that this business is extremely awesome for that. Hello, welcome back to another podcast of Upsiders with me, Sofia Castro. And today I have an awesome host. He is our marketing director, Bradley.
Hi, how you guys doing?
And today we're going to be talking about commercial loans and about marketing and how to bring out your brand with social media and marketing. So we have an expert on the panel today.
Yep, hopefully I can bring you guys a ton of value in this topic. I know Sofia and, a bunch of other people are, constantly just picking my brain on how exactly to market themselves from two areas. One area, how to attract more leads to their business, how to get more people that are interested in commercial loans, how to sell more product. And the other avenue is how to attract more talent, how to market themselves so that they can attract more talent and build a bigger team under them. So hopefully I can provide some value in these two areas.
Yeah, so let me touch a little bit on commercial loans. A lot of people have the wrong misconception on what is a commercial loan. So I'm going to be launching a new company that's called Rain Finance Group, and it's all about commercial capital. So we're going to be able to lend money to small to medium-sized businesses for any kind of working capital or any needs they have for their business. It could be a commercial loan. It could be a multifamily investor that needs a bridge loan. It could be a roofer that needs equipment to purchase equipment for their business. It could be a tow truck. Anything to do with commercial, that is a commercial loan. So, it's a little bit of a niche that not too many people are in. And they always think it's mortgages. No, it's not only mortgages. It's any type of capital they need for their business. And you can look up my website and you could see it's called Reign, REIGN, Finance Group. So what Bradley's going to talk about, because right now I'm launching this business and it's new. So, of course, I need to bring out the brand. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows about my brand yet. I also want to bring in leads for the business, like businesses out there that are looking for capital for their business to either scale or to just for anything they need, right? And then also, I want to bring in agents that want to work with Rain. So I need to make sure that my brand gets noticed by two people, the business owners and agents that want to come along to be part of the business.
Yep. Yeah. So, I think the first most important thing, especially, and I'm just going to use Rain for an example. The first thing is to really understand and recognize your brand identity. So like, what is it exactly that you want your brand to specialize in? Yeah, it's commercial loans, but like Sofia was explaining earlier, there's a ton of different, actual products. Yes. There's the real estate loan,
working capital,
factoring, equipment loans. There's a ton of different ones. So if you want to specialize in one niche, or maybe you want to do them all, but you want to do more of one specific product, you need to tailor your brand to that specific product. So if I'm not mistaken, Rain, you guys want to specialize in the real estate sector, right?
Correct. I want a real estate sector, but again, don't get this confused. It's not only mortgages for a real estate investment. It could be a roofer, a tile guy, a drywall company, a plumber, an electrician, an air conditioning company. Mm-hmm. The only thing I want to niche is in the real estate sector, but I'm very wide, not just in investors per se.
Yeah. So just to add on to what Sophia's saying, she wants to appeal to that demographic and that audience. She wants to appeal to the audience that's interested in anything real estate related. So, for example, the drywall guy, if he needs a working capital loan to pay his employees, or if somebody that's actually doing the project for their own personal property, if they need to get a loan for remodels, a quick construction, or if they just bought a brand new property that they're, completely
A fix and flip.
yeah, a fix and flip or something like that, she wants to appeal to that demographic. So her brand needs to appeal to them. How do you do that? There's a ton of different, things that you need to consider. Brand color, like what does your demographic, what does your audience base, the majority of them, look like in this niche? Are they mostly men? Are they mostly women? So you need to try and appeal to the majority, because that's where the majority of your, customers are going to come from. The same thing from the recruiting side. If you want to recruit mostly females, let's say, your branding needs to be a little bit more, feminine, so that you can appeal to that demographic. So, there's a bunch of different factors to consider there. But everything from brand colors to the tonality of your brand, how are you speaking to your customers? Men, they tend to be like more, you need to be very straightforward with them. You need to tell them what you want them to do, not ask them what you want them to do. So, how you come across in your messaging, there's a ton of different things, that you need to consider when you're building your brand, and how to appeal to that, demographic and that niche.
Yeah, and for example, Bradley's very involved. Obviously, he's part of the team. But for me, Rain, and if you know what Rain means, that's the reign, the throne of where you sit, the queen and king sit. And I want to attract, for my agent, mostly women. Men, don't get mad. You're welcome too. The only thing is that I really want to focus on empowering women on how to become an entrepreneur. And I believe that this business is extremely awesome for that. So I want to attract a lot of women agent. So our logo, we had to work a lot on it, because I couldn't go very, very feminine, because I don't only want to attract women, and I didn't want my logo to get confused with my customer base, because my customer base is not only women. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man. So I had to be very careful. So Bradley had to tweak the logo a lot and the colors, so that it could appeal to both and still stay feminine. Also, because it is a woman own business, and I want to make sure that comes across that way. But I don't want my customer to get confused that I'm only funding women business.
Yep. Yeah, that's an extremely good point. So, while we were working on the brand, we had to consider, a bunch of different things. You can't just appeal to one demographic, because then you rule out all the other ones. So then what happens is you're leaving money on the table. Somebody goes and lands on your page, or, lands on your brand while they're looking into you, and they're like, oh, wait, this is only for women. So you kind of rule out the entire other demographic. So we had to go back and forth and play with a bunch of things, so that we make sure to appeal to the majority of women, but also include verbiage and, messaging in there that doesn't exclude men as well. So yeah, that's an extremely good point, and something to be mindful of when you are building your brand, when you are, drafting all the copy for all your landing pages and all your product pages and all that good stuff, especially on your careers page, that you're not, completely excluding the other demographic, because then, besides from losing out on business, you can also run into legal issues, for compliance on, I'm not sure what the term is, but, like the diversity and, making sure that, you're not just only bringing in, men only or something like
women
that.
only.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
So yeah, and also let's talk about when I first did my website, that there was so much going on that it became a little bit too much, and I wasn't niching into who I was really wanting to focus on, which was the real estate arena, again, because I'm not only going after the real estate investor, or not only going for mortgages. It's it's commercial capital.
Yeah.
It's well-rounded. So at the very beginning, remember how it was too confusing?
So at the very beginning, and this is an excellent point and something that you need to be very mindful of with your brand. There's a saying, and it's in marketing specifically, and it says, when you try to reach everyone, you reach no one. So when you try and speak to all these different audiences and try to sell all these different products at the same time, you're really speaking to nobody, because what happens is your messaging and the point that you're trying to get across becomes very watered down, and you're really staying so high level that you're not really speaking to anybody. So when you're coming up with all your content and your sales materials and your landing pages for all these different products, you want to really identify and really touch on those niche pain points, really. Because when you dive into a niche, everybody has these very specific pain points that need to be addressed. What are your brand's solutions to those pain points? And again, when you try to stay too broad and address all these very high level pain points, like, who are you really speaking to? There's a million different areas that those pain points can relate to. And at the end, it's like, okay, but what are you really addressing? Like, what is exactly your solution to my problem? Like, I don't care about everybody else's problem. My problem is what I'm worried about. So you kind of like miss out on those pain points that need to be addressed for your specific niche audience. So that's a great point. When you're really trying to reach your audience base, you need to dial in on those pain points that are specific to the niche of your audience, so that you can really reach them, really speak to them, and they're going to be like touched by that, because they're like, oh man, like, this brand really cares about.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
For my industry.
Exactly. They're experts in my industry for my pain points. They know exactly how to resolve my problems. That's the expert in the industry. That's who I want to, do business with.
Yeah. And the same goes to the avatar that you would like to have working for you. Those agents that I'm going to bring into Rain, my avatar that I am focusing on is also very important too, because you don't want to bring in people that just don't even know the industry at all, or don't even understand, wait a minute, because there is, like, for example, there's some stay-at-home mom. I have an avatar that I want to approach in this for my agents, and one of them is that stay-at-home mom that had a career many years ago and had to let it go. Decided to let it go because they wanted to be a mom.
Yep.
Now their kids are off to college and they have, where am I at?
Yeah.
What do I do? Who am I?
Yeah. So, to that point, you don't necessarily have to have one avatar. Just like Sofia mentioned, that's one of her avatars. She has others, but it's very important to identify each one of your avatars in both sides, on your customer side and also on the recruiting side, because you want to address, again, those specific pain points, and you want to appeal to those specific avatars. So step number one, you need to identify those avatars on both sides. Step number two, identify the pain points for each one of those specific avatars so that you can appeal to them. And, to your point exactly, we want to make sure that we're speaking to that person, that stay-at-home mom that's going to have, certain pain points. Or maybe because, like, let's say the stay-at-home mom, she's still going to want to be involved on her, with her kids, so two avatars can be, one of them's a stay-at-home mom that still has, kids at home, and another one is the stay-at-home mom that she's now an empty nester because her kids are all grown up, gone off to college, whatever the case may be. And now, so now we need to split these two avatars, and they all have different pain points. One of them wants to get full on back in the workforce. She wants to find her purpose again, maybe, or something like that. The other one, she wants to start getting involved because maybe now she's kind of feeling her kids are getting a little older. She's got a little bit more free time. She wants to feel, like she has a little bit more purpose because her kids don't need as much more attention. So then it's like, okay, well, this business can help you because, you don't have a set schedule. You can, reach out to people whenever you can make time, whatever the pain points might be. But, again, you need to make sure that you're dialing in on those specific pain points for that specific avatar, and you're identifying exactly what it is that you need to solve for that person.
And how important is it to have a mission statement and a vision statement in your company?
It's super important because you don't want to get lost. You don't want your brand to get lost in a direction that it's not supposed to be on. So that's essentially what your mission statement is. It's to help, your mission statement and your vision. It's to help you stay on track and to help your customer really understand like what it is that this brand's like, what their purpose is. Why does this brand want to help me? Like, what is it about them that interests me? Whether some brand's mission statement, and I mean, I don't know, I know Apple has a really good one. I can't come up with it on
Southwest has a good one.
Southwest has a great one. They're speaking to their customers so that they can kind of let them know, hey, this is where we're headed, this is our mission with the brand, and it's bigger than just making money and getting more business. That's really what it is. And on the career side and on your employee side, they need to understand, hey, this is what we're here for. Like, yes, we need to get customers. Yes, you need to help them. But at the end of the day, like, we have a mission, and our mission is to accomplish X, whatever that is. But you need to help keep your brand on the right track so that you don't kind of get lost in the mix there.
Yeah, and I know firsthand when we had our other company that we sold, that really stood strong with the culture of the employees, of our partners that we call them, because we would repeat our mission and visions all the time, and everybody was on the same page, and it was very impressive to see what that created. That culture at BHD is still very strong, but they just knew it, and everybody was together on knowing that mission and that vision that the BHD had. So
that's an excellent point.
Culture is strong.
Yeah, it really helps form that culture in your business. If you set the right vision and mission statement, it will breed that culture within your business. If your mission statement is surrounded on, addressing your customers' pain points, getting them out of a funk, whatever the funk may be, and in your standpoint, you're helping small business owners get to the next level, scale, so that
start. Yeah. That could even hurt startups.
Exactly. So it really breeds that culture and helps your employees stay on that mission and have that mindset to really, carry your business, because they're the gasoline to your vehicle. Yeah. Without them, what are you going to do? You're going to serve all the customers yourself. So, they're the ones that they need to understand it even more than you being the owner, because they're the ones they're the driving force behind, your business and your brand. So they really, it's extremely important that A, you form the right vision and mission statement, but B, you create the right culture within your business around that vision and mission statement.
So let's talk a little bit about how important it is to have a presence in social media in today's world.
Oh man, this is a big one, because a lot of people, not so much anymore, because I think finally everybody's starting to understand that if you don't have an online presence, you don't exist. It's like, if you're not even in the slightest bit active online, even if you're just posting 1 time a day, guys, it's not enough. These days it's not enough. Like, everybody's out here, on every single social media platform, every single medium, every single distribution channel. I mean, you need to be everywhere. Every single place that you think your customer is at, or your employee or future employees at, you need to be there. You need to be present. And it's not just enough to be there. You need to be active. You need to be active in doing, providing value, showcasing the culture behind your company. I mean, just the volume needs to be there so that you can be recognized. Everybody's out here posting a million posts. What's so different about your brand than everybody else's brand? That's what the goal behind being online. When somebody searches your brand, or let's just say they're not even searching your brand because they have no idea who you are. They don't know Rain Capital Group.
Yeah.
What's Rain Finance Group? I don't know. I don't know who they are. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna Google commercial lending. I need commercial lending now. I need money now. Where are they gonna do that? Google. Okay, so now do you pop up? Are you the first 5, 10? Are you even on the first page of Google? If you're not on the first page of Google, I promise you're not going to get any clicks. So there's two ways to do that. One, spending money, your ads, your paid, and that's in this industry, it's intent driven. Like nobody, I'm not going to say nobody because obviously there's going to be the minority of people that, they're going to remember, oh, Rain Finance Group, let me go get money from them.
Yeah.
If they've never worked with you before, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to just come straight to Rain Finance Group. They're going to just Google, do a blanket search on their search engine. I need money now. Where can I get it? And there's going to be 10 other people that comes across, so they're going to shop. They're going to shop. 100%. Just like when you go to the mall, there's 15 different stores that are all selling clothes. You're going to go from store to store trying to find what better fits you, what looks better on you, what's your style, so yeah. That's exactly, what it is. So you need to make sure A, that you're on every single one of these platforms, and B, that you're appealing to your right audience, because you can't just be there and not appeal to them,
Yeah, it's very important, guys. I know at the very beginning when you start a business, marketing is one of your biggest items on your expense sheet, right? It's and a lot of people just say, well, I'm just getting started. I don't have the money. Well, I tell you one thing, just like anything, you can't start a business without money. So make sure that when you're doing your budget, that you at least put some sort of budget to hire a person that could at least create your branding with the colors, the logos, that it's very important, the appeal to your brand when you're coming out, and at least somewhat of social media and all channels. You need to spend that money because it is worth it, because that's where you're going to attract. Like Bradley said, when they're Google, they put a Google and they put that and they're looking for a business. And if you're not appearing there, you're not going to get that business. So if you want to scale, if you want to become a business that's known by your brand, it's definitely worth every penny to put into marketing, because in today's world, that's just where it's at.
Yep, 100%. And you nailed it right on the head. Marketing is going to be your biggest expense. If it's not, you have a big issue on your hands. I always tell people, at minimum, your marketing budget needs to be 10% of revenue. And that sounds like, oh my God, 10% of revenue? How the hell am I supposed to afford that? Figure it out. Figure it out, because you absolutely, it needs to be 10% minimum of your entire revenue in order to get anywhere. The analogy that I like to use is a car can't get nowhere without gas. Marketing is your gasoline. 100%. Marketing is what's going to move your vehicle. It's going to bring in clients. It's going to bring in,
recruiting or employees.
Exactly. Recruiting employees. You absolutely need to. And if you don't have the money at the beginning, to your example of the startup, it's like, well, you're going to have to get that working capital loan to help, to get it going. And there's other things you can do. I'm not saying like, blow the business out of proportion and, put in all this money so that the fact that you go bankrupt, that's not what I'm saying. There's other things that you can do. You could take a very aggressive organic approach, take advantage of SEO, go crazy in SEO so that you index higher on Google, on social media. Start to hit all those meta tags that, are indexing heavy. Trends, get really trendy. There's a bunch of trends happening every single day. Go on Twitter, find out what the biggest trends are and see how you can relate that in some way to your business so that you're popping up first. That's a good free way to get up there in visibility. There's a ton of different ways. I could literally be here all day, talking about all those, different methods and different strategies, but, definitely do your homework and invest the funds into marketing, because you absolutely need it.
Your brand and marketing, both.
Branding and marketing, extremely important. A lot of people, they're like, oh, branding, the colors, whatever. This looks okay. It'll get me there. Guys, you don't want to skimp out on that. you know, you use this phrase all the time. You want to build that foundation first. Marketing goes nowhere without the foundation. If you don't start with a nice, solid foundation, when you start to work your way up, you're going to hit a ceiling. When you hit that ceiling,
You have to come right down.
you're going to have to come all the way back down and then really start all over again, because now everybody, so like, what are you going to do? Change all your colors, change all your branding, change it. They're going to be like, wait, this is a completely different brand than what I started with. You kind of lose that validation with your customer. You know, it's, you want to start off right, get things done right. There's a saying in Spanish, man, I can't remember it now. But it basically goes like, if you don't start right, then why start at all? You know? So you want to make sure that, you know, when you start that, you build the foundation, all your data tracking mechanisms, all of your CRM, everything, the whole 9 yards, branding, you know, everything needs to be just done on a solid foundation. Not perfect, because there's a big difference between, you know, perfection and, you know, having a final product.
Yep.
If you're constantly chasing perfection, you're never going to finish, guys. You're just going to continue to work on it, work on it, work on it. You're never going to launch. So just make sure that, you know, your minimum viable product is done and it's solid enough so that when you stand and jump on that foundation, it doesn't collapse and you don't have to start all over.
So I really hope that this brought you more clarity and value about marketing and branding for your business. But if you have more questions, sign up for my live Q&A below and we'll be able to give you more deep answers on this topic. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on my channel.
Awesome.